So we're going to do some wine pairings for people to kind of help them through the holiday season.
Yes, yes.
So what are we drinking and what does it go with?
So I love to start with sparkling wine. Here we have a champagne. I always say you have champagne friends and you have Prosecco friends. So you don't have to get champagne every time, but Le Grand Haas is a great small family producer. I love rosé during the holidays. It's very, very festive.
I love
a little
it too.
bit richer, but you know, you can get a rosé cava, a rosé Prosecco. I mean, there's great domestic American sparkling wines that are really incredible these days. I would just recommend when you go into the retail store, and this is general, start with the price point, get that out of the way. It's always sort of gauche to talk about.
You're willing to spend.
Just say, hey, look, I'm going to spend 25, 30 bucks.
Exactly.
That's it. And this is the style of wine I want. And you know what? They appreciate that. It makes the conversation a lot easier. And then, you know, you don't have that awkward, I don't want to spend my mortgage on a bottle of wine sort of thing, right?
Exactly.
But this is also actually pretty reasonably priced for champagne. And what we love about it is champagne should always be ice cold.
Yeah.
Keep it in the fridge, put it in the freezer for 20 minutes. It should be almost, you know, icy on the top.
Tastes like frozen slushie.
Yeah, I drink my champagne like I drink my beer, ice cold.
Me too.
Always.
And I'm done. Like,
Super
if
crisp.
I let a beer sit more than 15 minutes, I'm out. I'm out.
Ice cold. Cheese and charcuterie is a fantastic way to start the party because you can sort of have a little bit of, you know, everything for people to snack on. You buy a lot of time, as you know. You put that out there, you let it come up to temp, so you can actually plate this up at least a half hour before people arrive.
At least.
One thing I'm most excited about is the resurgence of the cheese ball, which I grew up with, and I'm super pumped
we have
about.
gone a long way to bring back the cheese ball.
I love the cheese ball.
We've had the cheese ball aroma here.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially, you can get fancy, but I like the old school port wine cheese ball.
Yes, sir.
It's the best. And
Yes,
mortadella, because, you know, essentially it's just fancy bologna. With a fancy name, and those two things make me very happy.
Brother.
The cheese ball, beautiful. So you've got everyone noshed on that. You get everyone seated, and then we move on to latkes. You know, I am half African American, but my other half is actually Ashkenazi, and I have to celebrate the heritage here. And this is a really great appetizer for people. And we like a white wine that is a little bit richer, right? Everyone loves Chardonnay. I'm not personally a big fan of the big old oaky Chardonnay. We call those cougar juice. They're a little bit too much for us. So this Chardonnay only uses a little bit of oak. It's bright and fresh. It's fantastic. Heights is a very old Napa winery.
I actually know this. Yeah,
very classical.
It's lovely.
And it's got richness to it. So you'll make, you know, those people who like the bigger Chardonnays, they'll be happy enough. But this is not too overwhelming for a first course.
Should the white wine be not as cold as the champagne?
I always start my white wines cold, and then I put them on the table. One thing I also say is, your guests are your guests. You're not their servant. Put the glasses out and put the wines down on the table. They can grab the bottle, make it more comfortable. You know, you don't have to act like a sommelier. You know, I was a sommelier in restaurants for years, so I purposely try not to be a sommelier at home. I open the bottles, I put them on the table.
No, and just let people
enjoy.
Enjoy.
If it starts out cold, you know, if someone wants to go back 2.5 hours, it'll still be nice and chilled. So,
all right, let's move on down the line. This is so popular. A lot of folks do holiday hams, of course.
I love the ham. I was never really raised eating turkey. We didn't really eat in my household. We ate a lot of pork and a lot of ham. It's very versatile. You know, for a turkey, if anything, I'll eat the wings because I think it's the best part of the whole bird.
Crispy, yeah.
Oh my God, you braise them, you get them crispy. But a ham, you can eat this tonight. In a week, you can still be eating this thing. When you get to the bone, you make it for beans, right?
Yes, exactly. And then I was just going to say, and beans, baby.
Always the best.
Always
the
the
best
beans.
part. Red wines, there's so many different red wines. Have a variety. Don't try to pair. You're wasting everybody's time. So you get a nice light Pinot Noir. This is from Domaine de Monty in Burgundy. A red blend. This is from Napa Valley. A little bit more luscious, not as big and bold. And then two different Cabernets. We have Chateau Lescombe from Margaux, a very special wine, again, for those champagne friends. And then a really sort of old school Napa Valley producer from Spring Mountain called Stony Hill. And that's what we're going to have. And I think these classical styles of Napa Valley Cabernet, thank you, are probably the most versatile because they've got good weight, but they're not too over the top. And, you know, they're our wines, so we should be very proud of them. But also your reds, you can also start those nice and chilled as well, right?
We love doing that.
Put them in the fridge, get them nice and cool, put them on the table, and just let people have at it.
Wow, that is so
delicious, huh?
So special.